It's just us.
Okay. Hi. Today I will be discussing a resolution that the legal driving age should be raised to 18. More teens die each year in car crashes than the next three leading causes of death combined, which are homicide, suicide, and disease, as stated in allstatefoundation.org. According to the American Academy of Pediatrics, a 16-year-old driver is more than 20 times as likely to have a motor vehicle crash than any other licensed driver. Drivers of that age also have higher crash rates than drivers of any other age. According to Rocky Mountain Insurance Information Association, 60% of teenage passenger deaths in 2009 occurred in vehicles driven by another teenager. Among deaths of passengers of all ages, 18% occurred when a teenager was driving. Another statistic I found from this insurance company was that 83% of teenage motor vehicle fatalities in 2009 were passenger vehicle occupants. The others were pedestrians, which was 7%, 4% of motorcyclists, 2% bicyclists, 2% of riders of all-terrain vehicles, and people in other vehicles was 2%. With this information, it is safe to say that legal driving age should be raised to 18 for the following reasons. 1, most teenagers lack proper driving skills. 2, teenagers overestimate their driving ability. 3, teenagers at the age of 16 are not mature enough to be given an adult task as dangerous as driving. According to an article about teenage drivers I found on Children's Hospital of Pittsburgh website, teenagers at the age of 16 do lack the experience needed to be behind the wheel. Lack of experience means the teenage driver is less able to detect and respond to traffic hazards, less in control of his or her vehicle, and less able to interpret speed. Researchers have found that the following are factors in driving decisions: memory, attention, learning, reasoning, motivation, the development of risk perception, the development of problem solving and decision making, social cognition, and moral development. What seems to be the case most times is that when teenagers begin driver education or training programs, some of these abilities are not fully developed. After the statistics given, it is suggested that the appropriate times for the teenagers to begin learning proper driving skills is at the age of 15. This way, teens are given 3 years to fully develop their driving abilities, so by the time they're 18, they'll be ready. Secondly, as far as teenagers overestimating their driving abilities, young drivers tend to overestimate their physical and driving abilities while underestimating dangers in the driving environment. This leads to risky driving behaviors such as speeding, passing inappropriately, following too closely, and driving without seatbelts. And I pulled this information from an article called Teenagers and Driving, the Nature of the Problem. The most significant high-risk situation affecting teens are driving at night with passengers and with distractions, particularly those involving cell phones and other electronic devices. A teenager's willingness to engage in these distractions increases with the number of activities present. Also, when teenagers transport passengers along with them, the passengers who are age peers may direct or distract the teen drivers and encourage them to take more risks, such as speeding, jokingly cutting someone off, blasting music, and may encourage having utilization of illegal substances in the car. The chances of a 16-year-old that will die increase 39% with one teen passenger, 86% with two teen passengers, and 182% with 3 or more teen passengers, as stated in allstatefoundation.org. Lastly, in reference to teenagers at 16 not being mature enough, new research first released by National Institute of Mental Health suggests that emotional immaturity is the primary reason that teenage drivers are responsible for far more car accidents than any other age demographic. This is a quote from an article called Are Teenagers Mature Enough to Drive by Aaron Muskie. Young people are typically less likely to see risk in a situation. Also, they are less skilled than older drivers as identifying driving hazards. The ability to perceive or see risk does not just develop with age. It also develops with experience. The development of cognition also increases with age. Although the brain is 80% developed at adolescence, new research indicates that brain signals essential for motor skills and emotional maturity are the last to extend in the brain's frontal lobe, which is responsible for many of the skills essential for driving, as well as managing the aversion to taking risks. And that was from jgel.com. It's an accident attorney news website. So in conclusion, basically we want to raise the driving age because we want to make it an adult privilege, just like any other privilege that's considered to be adult, legally being able to drink alcohol and legally able to buy cigarettes. According to Save Our Teen Drivers, in an article on teendrivingblog.wordpress.com, for teen driving, deaths dropped in the United States. We need to completely overhaul the system. Not just in restrictions teen drivers face after they get their license, but in the training they receive before they are allowed to drive on our roads. We need to change the mindset of the American public when it comes to driving. It is a privilege and not a right. That paradigm shift within the American psyche will do a lot to curb the teen driving deaths. That's all.